Anyway, got a Superior here. Let's go ahead and get started.
Warp drive active.
Site can pretty easily be scanned down. 107, 108. Probe strength, I have 113. Too difficult to scan down. Let's hope that it's intact as well. That's something I didn't check. If the entry can hasn't been hacked, we're good. And it has not. Good sign. I'm gonna go and hack this. And failing that hack would start a short timer that would eventually destroy this container. I believe it's 3 minutes. Shouldn't really have too much trouble getting into the site itself. And once we take this gate, it's going to take us one of two places. Took us to the Sentry Room. It's good to go, okay. So we need to hack this first. And you definitely don't want to just approach the loot containers in here, because that will go ahead and start spawning additional sentries. And with too many sentries up, the site can be very damaging. I believe you can get up to 12 sentries. Okay. Once we hack that, make our way over to the repair station. What that does is it turns one of the sentries onto our side. It does that all down here. If we hack the sentry repair station, that's going to repair the sentry that we've got helping us. This is the easiest way to clear out this site. You maybe could clear it just shooting the sentries with missiles or whatever, but this is the way I do it. That's going to take a few minutes. Our sentry will be attacking the hostile sentries now. Oh, what? Whoa. Where are we going, ship? Did not mean to do that. There you go. That's what happens if you approach them. More sentries get activated. Whoops. I don't know how I did that. Must have double clicked on something. Maybe double clicked on one of those when I was approaching. Not sure. Or when I was locking. Should be okay. Run myself out of capacitor. So the ship I'm using, it's going to take a few minutes to clear out these sentries now. The ship I'm using, it's stable with either the micro or the shield booster on. With both of them on, it's only stable for, I believe, about 2.5 minutes. At 2.5 minutes worth of cap. All three of these are taking damage. Alright, well, they're gone now. So now we can safely come in here, start hacking containers open. Once all the sentries are dead, it seems like you're going to go ahead and approach this without any new sentries spawning in. Getting some bad luck on hacks here, but... garbage can there. Sometimes mangled and denteds won't drop any good loot, so it can be worth checking them first. Generally intacts and pristines will be okay though. At least have at least a little bit of something in there. Kind of hacking our way through these containers. We're going to be careful not to smash into the plasma chambers here. The range on them is pretty forgiving, but you just gotta be a little aware. I believe it's somewhere in that area. Just check up here, make sure. Probably down here somewhere. Start using some of our defensive tools. And there it is. there it is. Alright, what do we got left? We've got a mangled and another intact. Scan the mangled before we even bother with it. If there's any kind of blue loot in there, it's worth hacking. Okay, I know the core is going to be here now. When it was a defensive node surrounded by 6 squares, you know it's going to be there. Okay, now before we hack this hyperflux generator, this is how you get into the third room. The most difficult room of the site is through that. But before we hack that, we need to go back into the other room, the solar room. Because if we hack that now, it won't activate the rift. So we're gonna leave here. We're gonna go into the other room. Take this rift.
Warp drive active.
And bump off of it for some reason. Alright, so now we're in here. And this is the other room that you can drop in when you first come in here. So when you first come in here, this solar ray power terminal says it's a solar ray unaligned power terminal. And before you approach these containers, I really recommend you go ahead and align this. You'll take a lot less damage. This kind of cloud here decreases once you make this aligned. And how you align it is by what this observational unit can here drops. Drops a radio ray modulate disk. It can drop, it's random which disk it drops. It's going to drop one of the 3, the infrared, gamma, or the radio one all the way out there. So we need to hack this open. Totally locked off, that's fine though. Try down this way. There we go. Okay, we're going to grab the radio ray disk. Now the way that these rifts work here in this room for right now is this one will take us over here, and this one will take us back here. This one will take us back to the sentry room. But there is a reroute unit, which I'll go ahead and show you what that does. For now, we're going to take this rift. Be easier than burning 170 kilometers out to the radio.
Warp drive active.
Okay, so this is the solar ray radio alignment unit. We're going to drop the radio disk in there. Using the crystal disk, the alignment is now correct, so look back at the, now it's Soul Ray aligned. And powering this up, making it aligned, also powers up the rift in the second room. That's why we didn't hack the rift can yet. So we're going to go ahead and hack this, show you kind of what that does. This is how you access the mine part, I call the mine part of the site, the mine room. And what it does is it kind of shuffles the rifts in this room, changes them around. And now out here there's a beacon. If we take this rift, now this rift will take us out to here. This rift will take us over to here, and it just kind of shuffles things around. I really don't recommend going out to that beacon. You can kind of see that in some of my other videos. It's very unforgiving. There are hidden mines out there. It's very, very damaging. I just recommend skipping it. And in fact, that's what I'm going to do here. I have a dented can here. Outside of the Soul Ray cloud there. Go ahead and start with that. We'll see if there's anything even in it. A little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and approach the Soul Ray here. And this cloud now will do a little bit of damage to us. It's a lot less than it would be if this was unaligned. So you always want to align this first. There's really no reason not to go ahead and do that. 7 damage. I believe it's EM damage. I believe. Be up here or down here. Let's check this area first. It's probably up here. There it is. Had to shut off the micro there, but that's alright. Alright, well, couple blueprints here. Not really getting a lot of great loot here, if I'm honest. So far it's been pretty mediocre. Polarized currently are not really great. Torpedoes still sell well, but they're definitely not worth what they were once. At one point, any polarized was worth, say, 10 million or more, but now a lot of the small weaponry and most of the medium weaponry has dropped to sometimes just a couple million. The only thing that's really holding value is torpedoes. We're gonna keep looking. Oh, should have cargo scanned that one. That was a waste of time, basically. It's alright though. Okay, so once again, we know it's a grid of 6, so we know that the core is going to be up here somewhere. And there it is. I swear I pulsed that one cycle, but that's alright. I should have cargo scanned that one too, but that's okay. Another blueprint. Alright, so let's go back to the other room. Keep swearing I'm double tapping that, but it's on right now. So once again, I'm just going to skip the mine portion of the site. I just don't feel it's worth the risk. Most I've ever seen out there is 3 containers. It's usually a couple dentids and an attacked, I believe. And for the amount of damage you can take out there, it just is not worth it. Okay, now we're going to hack this hyperflux generator. Go ahead and open up the rift to the third room. This third room is definitely the hardest part of the site. This part, as long as you're careful and get through your hacks okay, is not really difficult. If you do spawn the extra sentries, you can have as much as... I've seen 12 sentries, I believe. And that can be quite damaging. Over here. Alright. Open that. Go through the rift.
Warp drive active.
Alright, so in this room, all of these clouds here are damaging clouds, so you definitely want to be careful not to fly into any of those. The idea here is taking parts from the chambers and putting it in the cerebrum. First we're going to hack the defensive can. If you fail any hack in here, it seems to spawn a set of sentries, and by hacking this it makes them less accurate. You'll take less damage. So I always hack that just in case. If you fail any hack, it seems to spawn them. Not too bad, but just for safety's sake, we're going to go ahead and hack this. Alright, that's done. Go ahead and lock up. What we need is we need the fluid. It drops 3 parts out of these containers, but all you really need is the fluid I've found. If somebody else finds a different way to do this, then I'd love to hear it. What we need is 3 fluid. So we'll hack that one and that one. We're going to do as little hacking as we need to. There's no reason to do any more hacking than is necessary. We're going to do this one and this one, get 3 fluid. Less chance to fail a hack, basically. Okay, so now we've got 3 fluid. So adding it into the other parts seems to, well, at best to do nothing and at worst trigger the defenses. So I just always add the fluid and that's it. Add in 3. That will give the cerebrum enough to try to start its systems. And it will start jettisoning cans for us here. This is where the fun starts. Once it starts jettisoning cans, that's where it gets a little crazy. A couple denteds here. So at this point, you're basically on a timer. Take too long in here, you're gonna have to, well, jettison a active sentry. That's fun when they do that. We'll take a little bit of damage from that. There's 2 kinds of shockwaves that show up in here. Massives and Colossals. Massives are very tankable in a Tech 3. Colossals, you're going to need a very, very tanky battleship. Hello? There we go. We're just getting all kinds of bad luck here. Alright, there's our shockwave. Not too bad. That one next. Didn't really get that many containers. Honest. Gotta be careful you don't accidentally drift into the clouds. Good. That was another shockwave that hit. Looking for the good cans, but it's really looking kind of poor. And now that's bringing in more impaired sentries. This is going well. $44 million there, though. Unfortunately, with the sentries, we're gonna have to leave a little early. Not gonna be able to take the sentries and double massives, I don't believe. Although realistically, is there anything left? You can move a little bit. It's just really hard to do that while staying out of the gas clouds. If you can move a little bit, the sentries won't hit you. Shockwave coming in. See, like we orbit that, we're gonna get into that gas cloud, so that's double massives now. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of manual piloting here. Make sure we don't get hit by too many sentries. $68 million. Realistically, we've got the majority of the value out of here, I believe. Not seeing too much else in here that's incredibly valuable. Maybe that one. Okay, it's time to get out of here though. even more powerful shockwaves, that's pretty much the sign to leave.
Warp drive active.
So that didn't go great, but even then we got the majority of the containers that are valuable. There's one more I maybe would have liked to get, but unfortunately wasn't able to get. Even then, pretty solid. 223 million worth of mostly blue loot. 211 there. Couple blueprints. Some of these I'm sure are decent. This one looks like it might be okay. Yeah, maybe a little bit of profit there. Unfortunately, it's going to require, MAR encryption methods 5. So, not bad. That actually didn't go nearly as smoothly as a lot of other sites that I've run have. That's actually almost the worst case scenario there, failing a hack and getting the sentries. But even then, it's not too hard to tank. If you want to hack the ship regenerators in there, that will actually help your tank quite a bit. I didn't take the time to do that. I know that the Tengu tank is strong enough to really tank the shockwaves without any difficulty. If we hadn't spawned the sentries, we would have been able to even get more done there. But I was having to do a little bit of manual piloting. But even then, that we got majority of the containers, most of the loot. Personally, I feel that this is the way to run the site. I feel that, Nestor can stick around a little longer, but it's slower to get to each can, and the extra risk you're taking on the ship value, the extra work you're having to do to get the Nestor. Nestor is very slow to move around and scan. It's just not really ideal. I feel that Tech 3 of some sort, maybe a Stratios with the help of the ship regenerators would be the way to go. But that's how I do it. Fortunately, that wasn't very clean. Didn't get tons of loot, but wasn't bad.